Have you ever noticed that different types of playing cards feel different in your hand? If they feel different in your hand, they're going to look different under the microscope. I have 12 different types of playing cards. I'm going to check them out under the scope. That's coming up on Thrifty Plus. Cards that will be included in this demonstration include Bicycle with their air cushion finish, Hoyle poker, B standard, Gemaco playing cards. These are casino cards. Maverick poker, Bulldog Squeezers, Gold Crown. This is a budget line. Full House, another budget line. Player's Choice. These are still sealed. I'm going to have to get into them. Classic Games, again, budget line, sealed. Northville, Jumbo, sealed budget lines. And just for the fun of it, this is a photo deck with Caves of America, and I'll look at the finish on it too. This Player's Choice deck is still sealed here, but getting into it, these have some texture to them. This Classic Games deck is still sealed. These were not only sealed on the outside, they're sealed on the inside too. Classic Games made those pretty hard to get into. Oh, these are very, very slippery. And the final sealed deck that I'm going to try out are these Northville Jumbos, which I'm going to have to break a seal on. And again, these are very slick cards. I want to go with a face card for this demonstration, and I've chosen the King of Spades, and I've noticed something here. 6 of these cards are basically the same design. These 2 kings look the same, and these 4 King of Spades look a little different. Of course, that's a cave over there, but these guys look a little different. I'm going to start with the King of Spades out of the Bicycle deck because of the air cushion finish. Now, if I hold this light at a rather steep angle, you can see the divots in the card, and that's why they're talking about an air cushion. Those little divots allow some air between each of the cards, which may or may not help when shuffling and dealing the cards. And of course, you can feel the texture of those divots on this card. Next up is Hoyle, and this is from a pretty old deck here. Now this card has divots too, which you can see if I hold this light at an angle. These divots are more square, less round than on the Bicycle card. B number 92 is another popular brand of cards. The divots on the B card are not as pronounced, and they seem to be arranged in vertical lines. You can really see the vertical lines of those divots on the King of Spades cheek. These Gemaco playing cards came from the Lady Luck Casino Hotel in Vegas, and the corners are chopped off so that they won't be used for gambling anymore. This King of Spades has some funny looking eyes. Alright, this card definitely has texture to it. Kind of like the B, the texture appears to be more or less vertical lines on the card. Maverick is Hoyle's budget line of cards. Plastic coated, it says. Again, there's no divots. The texture on this card reminds me of drywall texture. I think it's good to have a little bit of texture on a card. It helps you shuffle, it helps you deal. These Bulldog Squeezers say they have a cambric finish made in the USA. Here's the Bulldog named Squeezer. The other Bulldog is named Trip. Okay, we got vertical line texture again. I'm going to assume that's what cambric texture is. All right, this Full House deck says it has a classic finish, and it is slick. This is a slick card, and there is hardly any texture. You can see a little bit of texture there. but it is very much not pronounced compared to some of the other cards that we've been looking at. When I hold the light at an extreme angle, you can catch the shadows on that texture. So the classic finish is quite slick. Gold Crown cards don't say anything about the finish. It is a very slick, very slippery card. Ever so slight bit of texture on this card. Through the microscope, this looks like drywall texture. Okay, we have another slick card, classic games, standard playing cards. On these slick cards, it's hard to show much texture at all. I have to shine the light at an extreme angle to catch any kind of shadow, but there's really not much texture on this super smooth card. The North Vale Jumbo is another slick card, not much texture to it. See if I can catch that light at an angle. It's hard to catch any texture at all, and the texture I am catching is vertical lines. If I turn the card sideways, you can hardly see the texture at all. I can only really see the texture when the card's vertical. Next up is Player's Choice, and it has something called linen finish. That sounds promising. Ooh, and I can feel that. Let's see what that looks like under the scope. These Player's Choice cards have a texture that is remarkably similar to Bicycle. Look at those divots. They're circular like Bicycle. They might be spaced a little bit different than Bicycle, but I do think these feel remarkably similar to Bicycle. People don't buy specialty cards for their texture or to play games with particularly. They're more collectibles, but this is Caves of America, published by impactphotographics.com. The photograph is hard to tell any texture from it, so I'm just going to go to the card itself. This is a slick card, not much texture to it, and the texture looks about the same whether I hold the card vertically or horizontally, which is different than a lot of the lightly textured cards I've been trying out. The cards that felt best to me and I would like to use in a poker game were the ones that had divots. That was the Bicycle, the Hoyle, the Bee, and Player's Choice. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and remember, stay thrifty everyone.